Bedwars is a very difficult game, and when you're playing very sweaty games, you're bound to have some very impossible and hard scenarios to escape. In this video, I'm going to be showcasing a bunch of really sketchy slash difficult situations that really skilled players escaped, and I'm going to be teaching you how they escaped and how you can escape situations like that yourself. So the first impossible scenario that we're going to be showcasing is by Omegi. So now what happens here is Omegi's trying to clutch a really hard game against some players who are playing annoying, and he's being chased in mid with low and no heals. So he goes ahead and pearls to the enemy's base, and he's getting their bed, but they're chasing really close behind him. So after breaking the bed, he runs into the shop and really quickly buys a pearl and a jump. Then, while taking multiple hits, jumps out of the base and pearls to Aqua, who has a bed. After really quickly getting a jump potion off and jumping up, Omegi is safe, but he is surrounded by a bunch of players who are all trying to kill him with no gapples. So now we've already had two very hard situations, one being in a base with no heals and having somebody who overstacks you really hard kill you, but now this is how Omegi gets out of this one. So after jumping down and killing the player, Omegi avoids a fireball, then breaks the aqua bed on 2 hearts. And after getting aqua, Omegi goes on top of the base and basically just jumps around for a little to regain some hearts and to avoid anybody who was thinking about coming up, so I'll speed this part up a little bit. So now is the final touch. After killing Aqua, both whites are on him, and he quickly jumps down the side of the tower, and 2 of them are on him, killing the first one and getting the other in a few hits of combo, and knocks him off, jumps down, and finishes off the last white player. And now let's go over a few of the things that made this insane scenario get out safely and not be killed by the 4 players that were attacking him. Now, one of the most important thing I notice is how after getting the bed at yellow, Omegi gets into the shop and very quickly buys the jump and the pearl and lands a perfect pearl. Now, one thing that you may not have noticed is the presence of mind that was needed for this play. There was no way that Omegi could have known that he would need the jump the second after he reached Aqua Base, but I just thought that it was smart to have a jump to be able to escape scenarios. So whenever you're trying to get out of a tough situation in Bedwars, you just have to think and plan to move ahead. I'm sure that Omegi was thinking that they would have to make a quick move to the shop and out, and that jump helped them a lot. And so that's the most important thing that stood out to me in this clutch, as well as the fact that every fight Omegi took, they won, but Omegi didn't take any unnecessary fights. Instead of fighting the yellow player when they were low and very likely losing, Omegi used the smart play to get out of the situation and played it safe rather than just charging into danger and losing the game. Now, the second impossible scenario that I'm going to be covering is this 3v1 clip by Cudas Gunner, who's actually in my guild, Blight, which is a great guild, guys. You should join, but I'll talk about that later. But yeah, so in this clip, he's playing ranked Bedwars, and he's on the top bridge going for 3 different players who have low ground on him and have ladders. Now, what I think he does here is amazing, so just watch the clip. So now let's analyze what he did. He started out by running up and going to the side of the first player right here to hit him off to the side, as you can see in this frame right here. And then goes and hits the other player forward and off the bridge, as you can see right here. And I think the way he got one of these players low and killed the other one is very good. And now he is only 1 heart down, and he finishes off the next player and sends the other one flying, as I'll replay and show you this flame right here. So now, for the next impossible scenario we're going to be showcasing, this clip is actually by me. Now, before you click off because you think I'm bad, this is a really good clutch against a bow spamming 300 star, and this video actually covers a lot of the stuff that I wanted to talk about when I'm talking about doing impossible scenarios. So this game starts out fairly normal, where I just bridge over to the other base, and he seems to have fallen, so I just knock him off and then break his bed. And he doesn't actually go off, so I just trade with him a little. and I am low, but I managed to kill him fairly easily, so I just keep rotating the map. Now, since I'm guessing you guys just don't want to see boring footage of me just playing the game, I'm going to cut to the part where my bed gets broken. So right now, I'm at Green Base, who I just broke their bed, and my bed's gone. So I quickly gap up because I'm at half health, and I go ahead and take all this stuff from my chest, which is always important because there's no point of an ender chest if you're on your final life. So now I see that Green's chasing me, so I go ahead and go to the top, because when you know that there might be more than one people chasing you, it's always smart to be above them so you can go. So I decide to take this fight because I'm confident that I can win because of my skill level, and I do manage to win the fight. So now that's one less person in the game for me to have to kill. And yeah, so I check to make sure his team chest is empty, because sometimes in solos people use team chest. I have no clue why. But then I see that Aqua is chasing me, so I know that I'm not planning on taking this fight. I'm at 3 hearts with no heals. So I just make some barriers behind me to try to slow him down so I can gap from this. Then I do a quick ladder clutch so I don't take any extra damage. And so the gap that I buy right here has more time to heal me, because if Aqua was incoming, then that ladder could have made a big difference. Then I go ahead and start bridging to get to middle, and I see arrows, and what happens next is crazy. So what just happened was Aqua was bow spamming, and he hit me, and I hit a 3-drop to save myself, then ran over and broke his bed. Now, clutching is one of the most important things when you're trying to get out of impossible scenarios. Clutching can be used just a single clutch to save yourself, as Cudas Gunner's clips showed us, or it can be an extension, like clips like Montclair Bear and Cool Dude 951, or it can be a drop, which is where you place 3 blocks quickly with no hit backwards from just a singular hit, as I did here. Now, you'll see the time I had to place this clutch was very quick, so that's why I think that the best way to get good at clutching and Bedwars is just practice. You have to have muscle memory. Even if you know exactly what you're doing, you might not have the muscle memory to hit that exact clip. So now, after hitting that sick clutch and angering the 300-star bow spammer, I'm trying to go to the other base, but I'm also baiting for fireballs, because if I can get white or aqua to waste a fireball, that might give me a chance to win the game. So yeah, so because I jumped away, I did not go for their base, and they did not fireball me, which either means they don't have fireballs or they're not willing to waste it. And now I'm just rotating mid for emeralds, because mid is probably the most important place for trying to clutch a game. But yeah, so if you're gonna escape impossible clutch, then you want to be able to have mid control, because you need to just have the resources that you can only get from mid. And if the other teams have mid control, they can easily invis or punch bow you or pearl on you, and you will have no option except to die. So now I spot the aqua in mid, so I go ahead and try to fireball him in case he's going to jump on it, and then I fireball him again. Somehow he manages to land on the one block that's safe, so I go. And I know that he is going to jump down on me and kill me if I chase him, so I just keep running and avoid the bows that he's going to shoot after me. And right now, this is where stuff gets hard. I quickly buy a pearl and a jump pot, so I can jump pot away out of sketchy situations like Omegi, and a pearl so I can basically do the same thing as Omegi did. And now I see Aqua breaking white bed and white chasing him back. So my plan is to let the two fight, because like I said, it's never smart to engage in a fight that's unnecessary. But I'm trying to help Aqua out, because if I can get the white to get Aqua a little low, then I know I can guaranteed finish him off. But the white seems to be surviving, so I go ahead and finish the white. Then I pearl on the aqua, which he's not expecting, and he attempts to pearl because he's low, but he misses the pearl, and that is good game. So now let's go over the 3 main points that we learned. 1, you always have to be able to make quick shop stops, as we saw in Megi's clip, and you have to keep a presence of mind while playing and try to predict what will happen next. Next, in Cudas Gunner's clip, we saw how you have to think about angles, and you have to think of each enemy as an individual, not as a group, and think about how to best dispose of each person. Then finally, in my clip, we were shown how practice is very important, and if you get muscle memory and know the right thing to do at the right time, you'll be able to win any game.